So we've spent an awful lot of time on this show over the past several months chronicling the twists and turns of the child welfare system here in the city of Milwaukee. Sue Conwell, a local child advocate and executive director of Kids Matter, Inc., has been an invaluable resource for us over the course of these several months, and she is here today with a special guest, Jessica Holden, a product of the child welfare system here in Milwaukee, and recent winner of the prestigious Horatio Alger Scholarship Award. Jessica and Sue, thank you both for being here today.
Thank you.
So it is kind of refreshing to be here under different circumstances, because we've had a lot of horror stories coming out of the child welfare system over the last year and frankly over the past 15 years. So we are here today to kind of celebrate the fact that Jessica has managed to overcome a number of obstacles and triumph in a way that is all too rare in that system. Sue, I don't know if you want to start maybe and just kind of explain where Jessica began in the system and how we got here.
Sure, but actually, Paul, I'd like to say one thing. First of all, a lot of the horror stories are about adults in the child welfare system. They're not really about the kids. And whenever I ask young people what message they'd like to get across, they say, tell them it is not my fault. I came into foster care when I was 2 because of something that happened. And lots of young people say, look, foster care saved my life. So all of it is not a bad story, and I'm really grateful for the chance to talk about how great the young people are. Jessica is not only a Horatio Alger Scholar, which I hope she gets a chance to talk about because it's a wonderful experience. She's also a Dell Scholar. She's really got a full ride to Northwestern. She's a poetry champion, a national forensics champion, and I'm leaving out a lot of things. So maybe we can let Jessica tell some of her own story.
Well, yeah, you're leaving for Northwestern soon.
Yes.
And you're going to begin your college education. It's got to be a very exciting time for you.
It is. It's just my opportunity to start fresh and create my own mark on our world.
When did you find out that you had won this scholarship from the Horatio Alger Association?
I found out in March, and they actually called me, said, hey, you won $20,000. How do you feel?
That's a pretty good day, huh?
Yeah, I didn't know how to really react. I've never won that kind of money before. But it was a really positive experience for me, being a part of Horatio Alger. And it was so much more than the scholarship money. We actually, all 109 scholars, got to go to Washington, D.C. for a week and really experience a world that had been kept away from us for so long.
You mentioned a good point there. 109 recipients of this money from the Horatio Alger Association. That's a small group, and this is a nationwide endeavor, is it not? So this is a pretty elite company that you're in.
Yes, and it felt so empowering to be around youth my age that have gone through similar obstacles, yet had overcome them, and were just in love with education as I was, and were planning to go to college. And so we kind of bonded. It was this unspoken kind of thing, we didn't have to share our stories. We didn't have to explain ourselves. It was just natural, like we'd known each other all our lives.
And you got to meet Denzel Washington, from what I understand, so that must have been pretty cool.
Yes, Denzel Washington is actually part of the Horatio Alger Association, and he was really laid back and down to earth, and he was really excited about meeting us as we were meeting him.
And I'd like to hear this from you, Jessica, what were some of the challenges for you existing in the system when it came to focusing and succeeding the way that you have so far?
Well, I entered the foster care system when I was 10 years old. My mother suffers from a mental illness, and it was really difficult, number one, being so young and not really understanding all that was happening around me, and going to foster home, different families, different situations, different personalities, not really ever feeling at home.
It's got to be tough, I would imagine. I mean, I get uncomfortable visiting my relatives, much less moving into a strange house with a strange family. But I would imagine that going through that experience gives you a unique set of skills when it comes to dealing with the world.
Yes, I've really thought about this, and there's nothing I would change about my life. It may not have been the picture-perfect life that people expect or want for themselves, but I gained valuable knowledge about the world, and I gained real life experience that even my friends who had both their moms and their dad and a supportive family haven't really received.
Sue, I know that your organization was instrumental in helping Jessica get to this point.
Well, actually, we're part of Team Jessica. There's a lot of people in Jessica's life who've been terrific, and I really want to recognize Chantel, her foster parent, who was started as a mentor to Jessica, and then because you can't be both a mentor and a foster parent, that's a conflict. Though she was going to school herself, took all the classes to become a foster parent and opened her home to Jessica, and that's been a really wonderful experience for her. We have a court-appointed special advocate volunteer,
Yes.
Ashley, who has really helped, I would say, with breaking down those obstacles. Jessica's really been a path breaker. One of the challenges in foster care is that we're more willing to pay for drug and alcohol treatment than we are for advanced placement classes, or in her case, international baccalaureate classes. So Ashley really helped make sure that all those things that need to happen to help kids be a success, that she didn't have to fight that battle. That there was somebody to do that for her.
Well, here's a larger question for you. How do we go about using Jessica's experience and the sort of assistance that she received? How do we go about making that more the rule rather than the exception?
Well, one thing is starting right here. This is great that she's getting a chance to tell her story, and it's very hard to get positive stories out there, so that's wonderful. And I do think actually that Jessica has helped change people's minds. There is a much stronger commitment in the Bureau of Milwaukee Child Welfare leadership to making sure that those things that Jessica needed and that all the other kids have needed that are going on to college happen. They're going to pay for test fees. I mean, when you think about it, it's a couple $100 every year just for those kinds of things, and it used to be a battle, and now they're much more willing to say, you know what, we need to invest in the success of kids, and every young person who makes it, I hope they all get a chance to go on and inspire other kids like Jessica is doing.
We talked about some of the unfortunate stories that we've been covering over the past several months, and I know that this is a period of transformation and change, or at least it should be for the child welfare system here in Milwaukee. Where are we now? Since the state established a new department to oversee things here in Milwaukee, and since a lot of the abuses and neglect came to light, have things improved?
I think that, well, obviously there's other news that's very recent, so it's hard to say that everything is where it should be. I think that certainly we're identifying challenges, and I hope that one thing that we can do is really work together better as a community, because there are so many people stepping forward throughout the community to help in whatever way they can. I had a little 6-year-old come in yesterday who collected school supplies at her birthday party to help young kids in foster care have everything that they need to get off to the right start. I would like to see us make a much stronger commitment to our young leaders, and to have more of the youth be able to work with other youth and be part of shaping the message about foster care.
So there are thousands of kids literally in the child welfare system,
Yes.
but there are other kids, is what you're telling us, like Jessica, who just need a little bit of support, encouragement, and they too will thrive. These are not all hopeless cases, which I think is one of the big perceptions out there.
Yeah, no, not at all. In fact, if you had more chairs, I'd be happy to bring a lot more kids, young people. They're all young, accomplished folks. We have quite a few people. Lisa's going off to New Rochelle in New York, and Perry's at Madison, and Ramona's going to Oshkosh. Anastasia's at MATC. There's just a lot of really wonderful young people. Everyone at the university school doesn't get to go to Northwestern, so every foster youth is not going to go to Northwestern, but they really, a little attention, a little support goes so far. And
really people in the community really have been willing to step forward. Ashley's taking
Jessica to Northwestern. One of our board members took her for the visit because she's on the alumni committee. I mean, she went there herself, and people are proud and happy to share what they know with young people if we can work together better as a community.
Jessica, do you mind if I ask you, do you know what you're going to do once you get done with college, or have you chosen a particular area of study?
Yes, I hope to major in psychology. I want to be a child psychologist. I feel that my life experience will help me to help other youth in the same situation overcome their own obstacles and hopefully not necessarily follow my exact path, but create their own paths in life.
Sue, for people who might be wondering how they can help out or get involved with other kids like Jessica, where should we point them?
Well, if they want to be a court-appointed special advocate like Ashley, they can give us a call. That's 344-1220. If they want to be involved as a mentor through Big Brothers Big Sisters, they can ask to work with the foster youth. And really, I think that one of the best things people do is reach out to the kids they already know. In every community, there are kids in foster care or being raised by a grandparent who sometimes just doesn't have the same amount of energy to be at Jessica's volleyball and every other activity, and there's just so many ways that people can help. Actually, Jessica got you got some stuff from the junior league to go off to college with. Sheets, a microwave, all the kinds of things that people need, right?
Sure.
And that's been they did that for all of the kids, which was a really wonderful thing. And, you know, people do things like that as well. So there's a lot of other ways that people can help if they want to.
Okay, well, we'll be sure to let folks know. And Sue, we appreciate you being here today. And Jessica, we really appreciate you coming in, sharing your success with us. And we all take a certain amount of pride in your achievements. So congratulations.
Thank you.